Hello, well, here it is. Here's my finished On The Go 2.0, which is a by pattern, but guess what I've done? Normal me, I've made some modifications. Here we go. So, what have I done? I'll go right through it right from the beginning. In the pattern, so my front, my back with a slip pocket, my flap are as per the pattern. Here we go, we can see that. So this is a quilted piece and I've sewn on this piece of clear vinyl so I can put an ID badge or something in there. The pattern has us make this flap, which is sewn in here with quilted fabric. And I've put this clear vinyl pocket on here. Some people have said to me they don't like it. If you don't like it, don't do it. You know, you can always leave off things. You can always do your own modifications. This zip pocket is part of the pattern. So what have I put in here? Oh, that's just to tell us what it is. That's the actual pattern I've used. Let's come down here in frame. I'll get it in a second. It's very bright. I've got as many lights on as I can. So it's the by On The Go 2.0. We have that pattern in our shop, as do we have this multicoloured zip, this bee pull, which I think goes very nicely with the echinacea fabric. And you can see the zip a little bit more there because there's high contrast to the vinyl I put it. Where we modified it is that we made a vinyl gusset. And you can see here. Also, my vinyl gusset is not quilted. So what did I do? How did I manage to do that? I made my gusset into one piece as the pattern gets us to do. And I did that by sewing a piece of vinyl right sides together with the zip and sandwiching in the lining piece. There's that. And then I folded it back. So then I had an opening in the side between the vinyl and the lining. And I slipped a very narrow piece of Decaville heavy in there. And if you buy a kit from us or something, I've got my modifications written down. And I also made this gusset with a lining piece and a piece of Decaville heavy, which I adhered to the lower gusset, the lower strip, whereas this one I didn't adhere it because it was too narrow. I cut this at 1/2 inch and I cut this at 1/2 inch less than the total measurements. That's 2/4 inches, isn't it? It's a 1/4 inch here and a 1/4 inch here and a 1/4 inch here and a 1/4 inch here. Just made it 1/2 inch smaller all the way around. I also sewed this bit onto the vinyl before I assembled it. So we can't see on the gusset, we can't see where I attached the strap on the inside of the gusset. I can move my fingers, there we go. So it's just plain. The other thing that we are doing a lot now is that I bound it with fold over elastic, which we have in our shop. I chose white because there's a white background to the lining. And I also, when I use fold over elastic for binding, I very much suggest that you match your thread to the fold over elastic. So it's just made it a little bit different. A lot of people liked it when we showed this at a show. I've also used our strapping. It's long enough to be a crossbody strap. What's happened here? Oh, here we go. We sort of got it twisted at one point. I can wear that crossbody. I think that would be fabulous for travel because you will fit in your passport, your boarding pass, your purse, your phone, all those things you need immediately when you are flying. And yet you don't put in too many You don't want to take too much on the plane, really. If you're going to check luggage, just check it. Just be The other thing I did was I simply used a couple of bits of vinyl for binding. Here I have written that instruction out. I cut those at 2 inches wide. I've sewn them on the way you would sew binding on, but in a single layer. So I did right sides together with the 2 inches from here to here, sewed it down, flipped it over, clipped it, and then top stitched it along here, and the 2 inches made sure that I caught it behind. Then before I sewed it on, I trimmed that off with a really nice sharp pair of scissors. So I trimmed it off straight. It's a non-fraying substrate, so it doesn't matter, and I actually did the same here. We can't really see it because that's where I trimmed it to there, but I trimmed that off before I then sewed it on to the flap. And I thought those 2 bits of vinyl, that was to repeat elements, which is what you do in design, repeat elements. So I am going to travel internationally later this year. The tickets are booked. Lots of accommodations booked. I'm really quite excited. The other thing, yes, anyways, I plan on taking that with me. The other thing that I did with this is I actually did kind of fussy cut this echinacea, and you might be able to see that I have, well, almost lined up the flower. So here and here I've lined up the flower. It was just to sort of keep it. It's not perfect, I can see that now, but it's not bad. Lined up this flower. Echinacea is a fairly large print. So there we go. I hope you enjoy what I've done, how I've modified this pattern. I think it looks nice. I've followed all the directions and then just put in my little modifications, but the shapes are the same. Everything's the same. So, the thing I did, I think this had you use a bit of this contrast fabric, and I decided to fussy cut a piece of the echinacea for here. So I fussy cut out a portion of the flower. I wanted the contrast. I could have done it with vinyl, but I thought it would all looked a bit same, so I covered that up with fabric. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed watching that. This is the last one. I'm currently planning on what to do with an out to lunch, and we probably will do the same thing over and over. So that might be, I think, look, reading through that pattern, that might be a 4-parter because this was only a 3-parter. But we enjoy modifying the Bienni patterns. They come together well, they fit well, but we enjoy adding our little spin to it. So thanks again from Electric Needle Girls. I'm Heather, and Vicky's the one behind the scenes poking me all the time. That's all right. And we will see you again soon.